Hey guys, I did my article over using math across the curriculum. This was written by Bob Crinch, and one of the reasons I really like this article is he started it out with a story. And it just kind of explains how he really fostered his love for math. And he begins by explaining how he used to read the back of the stats on the baseball card, and how he helped his father with projects to measure things, and how he liked figuring out discounts at a comic book store. As he grew up, he began to see math everywhere. And then when he started his teaching career, he realized the most meaningful understanding of math was when it came from real life instances. And he really wanted to connect that with his students. So he starts by explaining that teachers who intentionally bring math into other subject areas or are going to be more successful because math strengthens all areas of studies in new ways. He does this by applying a new skill within a different content area to strengthen and deepen the level. So, in the article, it gives a couple of examples of how the integration helps make math meaningful to kids and how they can relate to it, and how it even makes it fun. It also improves in achievement. So some of the examples he gave were social studies. And when I first started reading this, I was like, how can you integrate math and social studies? And so he starts to go in by explaining that social studies uses a lot of statistics. And one of the lessons he conducted in one of his classroom is he created like a timeline between the 1800s and today. And just by creating this simple chart and tables, they could use like statistics on how much, a typical worker would make, for a week or a month or even a year. And then they could compare these two numbers and then kind of be like, wow, life was really hard back then. And they could really see like the history aspect of it and then the mathematic aspect of it. So moving on, another thing that they compared this to was art. And so he started explaining how one of the teachers that he interviewed started using started using math in her art class just to see if it would bring up achievement rates, and it did. And she just did this with little kids, kindergarten specifically, and they just started like interviewing researching famous artists. So one of the ones they did was Van Gogh, and they just started by like analyzing like some of like a painting of a sunflower. Then they did their own sunflowers that included different colors and compositions and parts of the flower, so they could see it, really get that art aspect in it. But then she went even further and had the students just simply count the petals, and this really benefited the students in like one-on-one correspondence and just really getting their counting in and everything like that. um Another thing that he said that you could integrate art into, I mean, not art, math into was writing. And this one really impacted me because it really helps empower kids in math. And to just by like having them write their own word problems in any specific area they're in. So this could be anything from like fractions to addition to subtraction, but just have them like write it out and then test their peers with their writing. And I feel like it really creates a fun atmosphere for students if they're like, wow, I created this math, so I can do math if I can create it. um and then he also compared it to like music and numbers and rhythm. So one of the lessons he started explaining was like just like reviewing a song that has like a lot of beat to it, and then having students like recreate that song by using like trash can lids or brooms or anything that they can sort of make sound with. And then after that, they can record it and like, take that rhythm and convert it to like different numbers or patterns and like really see that. Another cute lesson he started to go into was using like practicing ordinal numbers in serial order with young students, and he kind of compared that with the song in the book, There Was an Old Lady Who Swallowed a Fly. And the students can, like, look at that song and uh, like look at the different order of animals that she swallowed and like put those in specific orders, like first, second, third, when they're singing the song, and connect that to it. So I found that really interesting. And finally, he went even further and added like a physical aspect to it. So like physical education. And so with this lesson, he started to explain like, well, the students can do sort of like a yoga activity where they use their like bodies and like bend them into like different shapes. So like for example, if they're learning about a triangle, they can like make a triangle with their arms or make a circle with their arms. And I feel like this activity really helps them see how different shapes are formed in a really kinesthetic manner. So that was my article, and I just really appreciated it, all the different like activities that this author like included in this like article.